and you'll be able to chat with me there. Excellent. Rebecca, awesome. Lovely to see you guys. Let me know where you are calling in from today. So if you can put the city that you are currently living in the chat window, I would love to see where you're calling in from.
Welcome, everybody. It's Manuel here, and thanks, Simone, for welcoming everybody on. We're going to give people a couple more minutes here because I know we had in excess of 40 people registered, but as most webinars occur, the live webinars, typically people catch it on replay, which is all good. And but for those that are here, we'd love to know where you're calling in from, and please just state where you are, what part of the world you're in, because I'm always fascinated to see where people are tuning in from, because all of us are aspiring to create these digital footprints, these businesses that give us some flexibility as far as where do we live, you know. And well, I've been very fortunate over the last number of years to meet a lot of digital nomads. It's just part of being in this space, really, and we'll talk a bit about that story and honestly give you guys also an idea on a bridge that you can create if that's something that you're aspiring for as well. And how are you doing today, Simone?
I am doing fantastic, Di. Look at all of our fantastic people hopping in. We've got Rebecca from Ontario and Chema. I think I'm saying her name right. She's from Bali. Do you know?
Oh, it's a him. And Chema, I know
hi,
Chema,
sorry,
so
Chema.
it's good to see Chema tuning in. And Paula and Rebecca, hello. And Rebecca, I know I saw an email from you earlier, so welcome. This is great. So we're gonna get started in about 30 seconds, and it's going to be fast and furious. So guys, make sure, guys and gals, so I'm just using guys as in people, grab your pens, grab your paper, be ready to take notes. It is a little like drinking from the fire hose at times. Lots of information. You got to realize I'm compressing almost two decades of knowledge into this webinar or masterclass, if you will. And I know sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. So not to worry. It may seem overwhelming, but we're going to give you some really clear action items that you can take away, apply to what you're doing and what you're building, and you're going to start to see some results right away. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll get going in about 15 seconds here, Simone? What do you think?
Perfect.
Give people a little bit more here to tune in. I know we got a couple more people just tune in. Hello, Buffy. Welcome. I know Buffy's here in Bali as well. I think I may be seeing her later today at which would be great. Thanks for tuning in, Buffy. A nice early morning for us in this part of the world, Southeast Asia, where it's mid-afternoon for you, Simone, is it not?
It's mid-afternoon, and I'm just loving all these cool names, Buffy and Chema, and I love this. I wish I was going to have more children.
And it's also great to see Jocelyn tuning in as well. Where are you at in the world, Jocelyn? If you guys get a chance, just put it into the chat box there, and and away we go. It's gonna be good. We're gonna just get started, guys. I'm excited to see everybody on this masterclass. The masterclass, if we had to boil it down, it's 7 steps to making your first $1,000 online. From all my experience in this sort of digital space, in the space of developing online platforms and online businesses and services, that is a massive milestone. You know, once you've generated $1,000 in the online space, you've now proven something. You've proven a model. You've actually found out that you do have what's called an MVP, or this minimum viable product, or the way I like to call it, it's the big piece that allows you to validate your idea. And the neat thing is, if you can do $1,000, you can do 10,000. You can do 20,000. You can do more, because you just start to refine and duplicate and optimize the process by which you made the 1,000. See, I don't like to talk about making 6 figures, making 8 figures, 7 figures. You know what? Let's get real. Let's get really real for a second. You know, there's a lot of digital marketing talk out there in the space. Talks about all this miraculous volume in sales that you can do and lifestyle transformations. And I just want to be really real with this. You know, for most people, an extra $1,000 online per month equates to about $12,000 a year. That $12,000 a year is literally lifestyle transforming. That is amazing. It's amazing. And we have a lot of people that Simone and I have worked with that's all they're looking to do. They just want to add a little bit of extra income to their household, give themselves a bit more choices, have something that might be able to cover the mortgage payment or the car payment, or even in some cases, the vacation, right? That extra duration of, because a lot of us find ourselves working in a space where we're exchanging hours for dollars. And we all know we have limited hours to exchange for that money. And we eventually hit a point where we cap out. And that's who we tend to attract, people that are coaches, people that are mentors, people that are selling services and are looking for ways to leverage that experience and expertise to be able to literally create a business around that and allow them to get some of that time back. And so Simone and I will introduce ourselves in a bit, but I'm going to get started right now. If you have questions, you'll notice there's a Q&A box. Feel free to throw them in there. We have Christy, who's also on the line with us. She'll be monitoring that, and we will take time to address your questions at the end of today's masterclass session. We will be addressing the Q&A. As well as for those that are interested, we'll also present some findings that we've learned over the last 4 months since working with 12 entrepreneurs doing just this blueprint. And we're going to share some of the amazing things that we were able to discover, as well as assist in creating. So away we go. All right. You might be wondering, am I in the right place? Well, if you currently sell or you plan to sell training products or plans, digital courses, maybe programs, coaching, consulting in the online space, and yet you still want to sell more, or you want to be able to just start selling, well, you're in the right place. Your client hours are tapped out. Maybe you're walking on the edge of burnout, meaning that you keep throwing more hours out there, working more hours, taking away from your own self-care, from family, from some of the important pillars in your life that you find tremendous value in, the things that are really important, and you're starting to compromise lifestyle to try to earn more income, and now you're realizing you can't sustain that. It's great. We can be hustle all we want at the beginning, but we eventually hit a point where we can't sustain that. And it will start to affect our health. It will start to affect our emotional state, as well as it actually affects our businesses, all of them, all aspects of it. So if you're walking that line, you're also in the right place. You also might be unsure about where to start. Confused by new technology. Maybe you want a simple, easy plan to launch, or maybe optimize your current online business. Well, rest assured, you're also in the right place. Now, what we're going to talk about today, and in particular, there's going to be a number of things. We're going to talk about a niche, like why you need a niche. Also, what online platform can do for you. Specifically, we're going to talk about a core offer. And for some of you, you've been receiving some of those emails that have been following up since you registered, one of which talks about core offering and the importance of that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today, as well as I'm going to share with you. Simone and I are going to share specific tools that we've used to run all of our virtual businesses, our programs, or sell some of our services. And these tools will allow you to leverage your time more effectively. So not only are you saving time, but you're also becoming much more effective at managing your client load. And this just means you become much more efficient. You help people get the results quicker with less effort. And at the same time, you're not involving more time. It's a nice win-win situation. We're going to talk about sales funnels because I always get asked about this and what the fact around sales funnels, WTF, and lead generation and client attraction, which is critical if you want to create a sustainable business model. Cool or cool? I'd like to let Simone pop in right now. And Simone, if you can just give them some backstory to give them an idea of where you've come from and where you are today.
Absolutely. Okay, so before I met Dime, I'd been working as an in-person trainer for 19 years, and I was at the point where I really wanted a change. I loved the industry, and I wanted to remain involved in it, but I also wanted to have the ability to control my schedule, select my clients, have a greater impact, and most importantly, be a full-time engaged mom. On the left-hand side, you can see a photo of me. I was overweight. I was not looking after myself. I had no time to work out or focus on my food. And then I'm drinking a big cup of coffee there. And I was on the verge of burnout. I was working 30 hours per week between 2 gyms and trying to be a full-time present mom. I knew I needed to make a change, and I wanted more of a lifestyle instead of exchanging hours for dollars. So insert me meeting Di, and I hired him as my coach and mentor, which literally changed my life forever. And you can see me kneeling down there with my glasses, or my sunglasses, and I'm holding up my Trainerize phone app, and I'm holding up my free guide, which Di helped me put together. And then you can see me on the right-hand side hiking with my daughter, Shelby, finally feeling the benefits of having an online business.
And it's pretty amazing to think about that transition, because you've really hit all the points, Simone. And I think the biggest thing, and just to commend you and what you've done, is I know it takes a lot to extend a hand and ask someone for help. I think a lot of us just think that we can do it on our own. So we try and we try and we try. And then we eventually get to a point where we either realize that, hey, this isn't working. I need to make some changes. So I'm going to look for a mentor. I'm going to look for a coach. I'm going to look for somebody that can help me. And what's most important is that you work with people that not only you respect, and I mean respect from a personal level, but also somebody that has already achieved or is achieving something that you want to achieve as well. And I know when you reached out, Simone, we've known each other in the industry for a long time, both being from Vancouver. And I just want to applaud your work ethic and just what you've done, because you've committed to a process and you've just duplicated the process over and over and over again. And I'm just really excited and proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
So Simone had an aha moment, and do you want to share what that was?
I did. My aha moment is when I sold out my first online course and realized this is a legit path, making money, making a greater impact, and of course, having the flexibility with my lifestyle choices that I always wanted.
Amazing. Amazing. We'll talk a little bit about how you did that as well. So everyone that's watching right now or listening to this will also be able to take away some of these tips and strategies and apply it to selling out your own first program as well. So amazing, amazing. A little bit of backstory on myself. I come from the health and wellness background. I've been in the space for over 20 years. Yes, 20 years. I was morbidly obese as a teen. I went through a personal transformation that took about 20 months, battling depression and just a state of unhealth that was just making my life not very enjoyable. And I went through that transformation in my late teen years, and that really got me excited about health and fitness, but more importantly, how to coach and mentor others and help them achieve transformations. Then I got into business, and I became a co-founder of a company called Fitness Town. I was in that space for 17 years. We built it to literally 8 figures a year. It's still maintaining 8 figures a year. I'm no longer an operating partner, and I'm no longer a vested partner. I left this industry 3 years ago because I realized that, you can see my kids there, I had missed out on a lot of first opportunities with my kids, a lot of their first time experiences as kids, because I was busy building my company, building a national brand, and I was working and traveling a lot. So I was compromising a lot of my lifestyle based on the business that I was developing and that path that I was on. And eventually, it got to a certain point where I realized, you know what? I'm not going to have any more time with them. I want to really focus on being full-time family. And so I made some shifts. I changed the way I was doing things. I really jumped in and embraced what I'd been doing in the online space to build my Fitness Town brand. And it was now applying a lot of those strategies to my personal brand. And it eventually just gave us options. So we started traveling full-time as a family 3 years ago. We most recently have relocated to Bali, where I'm recording this. I'm broadcasting right now from Bali. As you can see, it's in the bottom right-hand corner. And what's really got me excited is that this model is duplicatable, and anybody can do it, but it does take work. It's not something that just you find success instantly overnight, but the model works, and it's nice to sort of plug and play and use it to complement what it is you most want to create in life and the amount of people you want to make an impact in. My aha moment was literally realizing that by building community, delivering tremendous value to people I was connecting with online, was an amazing opportunity to literally expand my boundaries. And I became obsessed with building online programs and communities, because as I added more and more value, the more people I reached out to try to make an impact and try to change their life, I realized I had more opportunities to also create an income that supported the lifestyle that I valued most. So now I had businesses that supported my lifestyle versus me compromising lifestyle to support a business. And if you can relate to that, feel free to comment in the chat window there, because I find a lot of people I connect with, both online and offline, this is often a dilemma that we're all dealing with. So you're not alone. Now, there's a few quick benefits to running an online business. When I first started developing my first 10 clients blueprint, literally I did it from an outdoor office space in Ubud, a part of Bali, Indonesia. And that's the typical digital nomad workspace setup. Literally, that's what it looks like. You know, it's really easy to get started, little cost. There is no ceiling cap with income. You can automate much of what you do. Again, like I said, you're location independent. You are building an asset online. Something that creates cash flow is an asset. It's fairly recession proof because you do get to play in a global market. And I'll be honest with you, like, you're always creating. You're creating great content. You're creating conversations. You're helping people. So it is very, very exciting as well as stimulating. And hey, who wants more stimulation in their everyday life? You know, I think all of us. And so this is the path ahead. We're going to talk about the niche, talk about setting some goals, talk about developing that online platform for you, especially your core offer. Then how do you develop know, like, or as they say now, love? So know, love, and trust for you specifically, you and your brand. How are people going to find you? And then most importantly, how do you find those first 10 clients, you know, or generate that first $1,000 online? And of course, taking time to celebrate your victories along the way. Super important. If you're not celebrating the wins, what are you celebrating, right? So you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. This is critical. I love the Zig Ziglar comment because I find a lot of us get into analysis paralysis. We're always thinking, well, maybe this, maybe that. We're always tweaking our programs. We're trying to make the perfect experience for somebody, but we haven't even started. We haven't even started to bring on clients. And until you get feedback from people actually trying what it is that you're creating, giving you an opportunity to serve them and make an impact, you won't get the feedback that you need to make the changes that you have to make to make it even better, to make the product truly a success. So right now it's your time. And I'd like you to take a second, and those that are on here live, comment in the chat window, right? Just comment, I'll do it. Make a commitment. You know, we're coming into 2019. It's a brand new year. And if you're ready now to create a simple plan to start attracting and servicing clients in the online space specifically, right now, you might be doing a little of that, but let's talk about shifting your business so the majority of your business time is spent online versus offline. That's going to give you a lot more options. If you're ready to make that commitment, just speak it out, type it in. Let us hold you accountable to it because it really comes down to making a choice. And if you make that choice that you're ready to do it, boom, you're going to actually take time to take away what you're going to learn in today and apply it to start seeing some positive changes, not only in your personal life, but especially your professional life. So first step, you got to choose a profitable niche. Now, ask yourself this. What do I like to do? Right? Like, what do you really like to do? You know, but also more importantly, what are you good at? And once you've got these two things sort of figured out, you then have to ask yourself, okay, this thing that I really love, that I'm passionate about, and this thing that I'm naturally really good at doing, is there actually a business within this? And this takes a little bit of research, all right? And we'll talk about the research piece here in a second. But you have to ask yourself, you know, can I make money doing this? Otherwise, it's going to remain a hobby. And there's nothing wrong with having hobbies and passions that we love to do. But if you're looking to make that transition, I'm telling you right now, there has to be a business there. Otherwise, you won't be able to sustain it unless you are happy doing your 9-to-5 or your traditional career path to earn your income. Realize these passion projects will be just that, passion projects. They're hobbies. They're not necessarily a business. And I know a lot of people that are in the space that are very happy with that, you know, and they do other things online to create an income, which we'll talk about a little later as well. So there's options. I want to share a couple examples with you. Jen Roulon. Jen Roulan's amazing. When I started working with her about 5 years ago, you know, she's an accomplished Ironman triathlete. She's a TED speaker. She does coaching, consulting, speaking. She's written some books. You know, just to give you an idea of her amazing just way of being. You know, swim strong, bike smart, run like a Pac-Man, right? Like, check her out on Instagram. But what she's done really well is she conveys her message, but she speaks very specifically to an audience of triathletes or people that are interested in triathlons or being the first-time Ironman. And she's really branded herself quite well in that. And even now she started to branch into coaching other Ironman coaches, other triathlete coaches. And so she's done this very well because she's been very, very consistent with her market and her marketing and her voice and her messaging. Just her brand's on point. all the time. So check her out on Instagram, and check her out what she does with stories on Instagram specifically, because she's just incredible with what she puts out there. So consistent. But she knows who her audience is, and that's who she's speaking to. Simone, I love to use her as an example, because when she first came and we started working together, there was a lot of confusion around who she was speaking to. And right now, you know, Simone, just quickly interject and please explain, who is your niche? You know, who are you serving now?
My niche is moms. I'm a mom myself. I really identify with the struggles that come with being a mom, being 10 to 20 pounds overweight, lacking sleep, fighting cravings, no time to work out, no motivation, and having no idea how to get started. And as soon as I got super clear on my niche, deciding I wanted to work with moms, I was able to go deep with the subject and become an authority on it. And this is really when my business started to take off. So my Fuel for Fat Loss course and all my social media marketing is centered around helping this group.
Perfect. Bang on. And I love that you've got that niche so well defined, because now when you're creating content, that niche is always being addressed, being served. And this takes away a lot of the guesswork in what we're doing. Now, there's another, and this is on the complete other end of the spectrum, but thebodycoach.com, if you check out Joe Wicks and his story, it's rather remarkable. But just to put it really, really bluntly, you know, here's a guy that started with 15-second videos on Instagram back in the day when that was the cap. That was all you could have, was 15 seconds. And he started to create these simple little recipes, you know, and he called it Lean in 15, which is basically like 15-second little videos, taught you how to make a simple, usually 3 or 4 ingredient type recipe to eat a little healthier. And he just became very well branded, started doing some amazing things, started getting book deals, and just his brand blew up. Literally blew up. He's one of the first health and wellness professionals to do over £1 million per month in online revenues. Like, it's absolutely mind-boggling. But this is another end of the spectrum, but he's someone that's ascended to that, not beyond authority, to now celebrity status. But he's just a guy that got started sharing some great content, looking to serve an audience that he was very specific on, which is that sort of late 20s to late 30-year-olds that are finding that they just don't have the time to eat healthy. They don't understand how to do it. And he just started to really speak to that audience, started to help them with leveraging time to get results. And if you look at all his platforms, there's the same message being said over and over and over again. And he's talking to a very specific audience. Now, sometimes the niche will find us. And what I mean by this is, as an example, you know, when I first started sharing content 11 years ago, when I started blogging, it was really just a way for me to hold myself accountable to my own training. And I started exploring this thing called CrossFit, which was becoming popular. And I started to just blog about my journey into this new discipline called CrossFit. And I started to share different content based on people would reach out and say, oh, I got a question. You know, I'd get a question from an email from a guy saying, hey, I don't get a 6-pack abs. And I'd be like, okay, well, great. I'm tired of answering this question over and over again. So I'll just use my blog as a way to catalog these emails in a blog format. So I just started responding to people's questions, and that became my blog articles. And that's literally all I was doing. I was working and building another business. I was not interested in this online space at all, other than how it could help my current brick and mortar retail operation that I was in the process developing. But over time, I just found that this audience kept reaching out to me. They were resonating with what I was sharing. And over time, I eventually got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I'm dealing more with people in this space than I was in my corporate brand. So I just started to develop this niche based on the people that were reaching out. I didn't set out to find them, but they, in essence, found me based on the content I was creating. And so sometimes it's not always a straight line. Sometimes we get hit on the head, you know, with a surprise and a bang, and we're like, whoa, there's something here. And that's became part of the foundation pieces for the book that I wrote, The Whole Life Fitness Manifesto, which was really talking about how to make a better life in just 30 minutes a day. And from there, it's continued on. Now, here's some questions I want you to think about. Is your client experiencing a pain? Okay, like a pain. Is there something that's really, really bothering them? You know, and is there a sense of urgency around this, or an irrational passion? Like, think about someone getting married, right? And there's a bride-to-be that has a wedding dress. She needs to lose 15 pounds to really fit this dress. She knows she's getting married in 3 months. There is an irrational passion to lose that weight, right? She wants to release those pounds pretty desperately because she has a deadline. She has a timeline, and that's going to create an irrational passion. So she's going to be very motivated to find a solution. Also, is there someone actually out there looking for the solution to the pain that you've identified in your audience? Does your client or potential clients have few or no perceived options, meaning they don't have a lot of solutions or choices to satisfy that problem? And as there are at least 1,000 people right now at any given time looking for a solution for this pain point, this is where Google research comes in, and it's free and it's super simple to do. And I'm going to talk about this real quick. AdWords.google.com. Use the keyword planner. You have to create a Google account. Okay. So once you have that Google account, you can then create an AdWord account. You do have to put a credit card down. They need that to verify, but you don't have to spend any money. Okay. So even though they try to prompt you to create an ad, realize you don't have to create one. You don't have to run it, but you do have to put a legit credit card down to open the account. Once you've got the account opened, you get this great tool called the Keyword Planner, which is a free tool you can use. And just to provide a quick example here, I typed in Google keywords, just playing off that wedding analogy of a bride-to-be that's desperate to lose some weight. I typed in how to lose weight. You can see right now the monthly searches are anywhere from 100,000 to 1 million people searching per month in North America. And this is over the last couple years. Pretty remarkable, right? And it also gives me a couple other ideas of what are people typing in: how to lose weight fast, diets to lose weight fast, best weight loss program. So these are fairly generic terms, right? It's not really specifically wedding based, but at least gives me confidence that there's people looking for this solution, right? Now I take it one step further: how to lose 20 pounds. You'll see that people typing into Google, they actually type in how to lose 20 pounds. There's anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 people per month, right, in North America alone, looking for that particular solution, right? Now, we're going to go a little bit further. This is when we talk about niching down. Lose weight wedding, right? So look at this: wedding diet, wedding weight loss, pre-wedding diet. You know, you can see here now we got 1,000 to 10,000 searches per month. Remember, we talked about, is there at least 1,000 people looking for this solution? This is now validated that there is some people looking for that solution. You can go a little bit further now. Okay, so once you start playing with this, I typed this into Google search specifically: how to lose weight for wedding. You'll see what comes at the top here. I start to see different types of content. This is under the All tab, all right? Now, what I would recommend you do, and this is when you start doing research, you start to consume some of this content, start to read some of it, start to see what this content is actually talking about. And then from here, you're going to also look at the types of videos that come up on YouTube specifically. You know, Google, YouTube, owned by the same, and that's why YouTube is really just a big search engine, but you can type in the same phrase and you can see what's coming up. So this is going to start giving you content ideas. See what is very popular with this niche audience. What are they reading? What are they watching? What are they sharing? You can see there's over 1 million results just in videos specifically using that key phrase. Going to go one step further. How to lose weight for a wedding. Here's the images. A lot of these will end up on Pinterest. Pinterest is a great platform specifically for this niche, because we know that women in that sort of late 20s to mid 40 range are very prominent on Pinterest. So finding images that are great representations that ties into some of the content that you're going to create to attract people to you and this solution you're creating is going to be an important strategy. So hopefully this is starting to make some more sense for you as you're thinking about niche and you start researching some of the things that you're creating. A little hack: scroll to the bottom of Google, you know, in the search page there. And if you scroll down, they give you other phrases that they feel are related to the same phrase that you just asked, things that you may not have thought of, because they recognize, oh, there's people looking for how to lose weight, right? Well, here, because I typed in how to lose weight for a wedding, here's some suggestions. And look, this is actually other suggestions that people are typing in. Right? Lose weight for wedding in 2 months. Lose weight for wedding in 6 months. So it starts to give you some ideas on other ways that you can create programs or messaging around your programs or your offers, your products, your services, whatever it might be. This is going to be some of the keywords in the way that you talk to your audience. Now, another great thing to consider is running a survey or a Facebook poll. Google survey is absolutely free. SurveyMonkey is free, but only up to 100 responses. You can only ask 10 questions. Or simply messaging your friends. This is a great way to do market research, and it ultimately can help you identify who are your first 10 clients. Who are the people in your immediate sphere that already are experiencing that pain that you said, hey, there's a pain that I know I have a great solution that can help people overcome that pain point. How do I get the validation around that? And this is a simple way to do it, running a poll, running a survey. Here's some sample questions. What are the main reasons you are unable to work out consistently? These are sample questions that I've used for some of my surveys in the past. When I created my VIP program, I also worked with Simone on this specifically, which is the example I share on the right here. So Simone put this survey out. She did it, and we'll talk about how she did in a second. I'll let you share, or she'll share with you what she learned specifically. But here was this question, the last question of the survey. If there was an online program that delivered a results-driven, customized training plan, food menu, and yoga that encourages consistency and rewards accountability, would you be interested in it? So realize she had 83 people respond. 78 people answered this specific question. Look at it, 29 people, almost 40% of the people that actually did her survey, saw her video and said, yeah, I'm going to give you some feedback on what you're looking for. My goodness, yes, I would be very interested in this. Where do I sign up? You know, of those 29, I can tell you for sure that she would find her first 10. You know, what did this do for you when you did this survey?
Oh my gosh. Well, Di helped me put together this survey, and it really was the most pivotal moment in my online career. Before the survey, I thought I knew everything about my audience and what they wanted, but I actually was surprised by some of the answers to the questions on my survey. Looking at these answers carefully and the real pain points of my clients gave me a lot of clarity in creating a solid program. And ultimately, it gave me a lot of confidence that this is a program that people needed and that I could make a huge impact.
Absolutely. And it was awesome. And it was so interesting because we set out to only get 20 or 30 responses, and she pretty much tripled that just based on her immediate sphere of influence that saw her initial video. And it was her very first Facebook video she ever did. And we'll talk about that actually in a second, because I think it's a really neat story, and it will give a lot of you that might be on here not sure on how to use social media a very clear way that you can start using it and use it effectively. Now, when we start talking about who's your ideal client, because this is important to understand, at least have a representation. There's Mr. Bean as an avatar. And when we're talking about who are your clients, you have to understand what are some of their goals and values. Where are they going to find information? Where do they go to? Do they go to Google search? Do they ask their friends? Do they go to Facebook? You know, do they go to Facebook groups? What's some specific demographic information that relates to them? Meaning, like, are they, you know, post-secondary education? Do they have a profession? Are they stay-at-home parents? You know, well, really understanding some of their demographics will help give you clarity, especially when it comes to how you talk to these people. What are some of their challenges and pain points, as well as what are some of the objections that they have when it comes to making purchases? You know, some of us go through a series of filters before we make a purchasing decision. If we understand what some of those concerns are beforehand, we can deal with them and anticipate deal with them in a proactive way and anticipate them before they actually come up. It just helps us be very clear in our messaging. It also helps them make up their mind a little easier. Here's a free tool you can grab at digitalmarketer.com. It's a customer avatar worksheet, both for men and women. I would recommend go grab a copy of that. They even have a great blog article that talks to you about how to figure this out, how to create this. Because realize when you're creating content, I like to have a visual representation in my mind of who am I talking to right now? Oh, well, it's Joe. And Joe is a guy that's, you know, late 30s, early 40s right now. He's got kids that are in their teen years. He's getting ready. He's thinking about this next half of his life. He's let his fitness go. He's let his health go. He's put everybody else on the front burner, where meanwhile he's had himself on the back burner. You know, Joe's educated. He's got a great job, good career. You know, his home is his biggest expense a month, but he's frustrated, doesn't have a lot of time, and he's not sure what to do, how to get back to health. That's just a real quick snapshot of one of my avatars. I can go into more details and talk a bit more about demographics, but for the sake of this call, I'm going to keep it rather brief. But that just starts to give you an idea. So when I'm speaking or looking into my camera on my phone when I'm doing a Facebook Live, and I'm like, this message is for Joe, I'm envisioning myself speaking to him directly. So anybody that's similar to Joe or similar in beliefs, similar in background, when they watch that video, they see me talking, they hear me speaking, they're like, whoa, it's like he's talking to me. Because I'm very specific on who I'm trying to connect with. So this is a very, very important step before you go out there and start creating all these programs and trying to make a business online. You have to have clarity on who your niche is and who is your customers. Next, you want to go and aim high. Set some goals, set some targets, and they don't have to be massive, okay, to get started, but you do have to get started. You do have to set some goals. So ask yourself this: how much do you want to earn per year versus how much do you need to earn per year? There's a big difference between what you want and what you need. I'll tell you, 3 years ago when my wife and I, quit our careers, took our kids out of school, gave away everything, packed up our SUV and said, we're going traveling. We looked at our lifestyle and what we wanted versus what we needed. And you'd be surprised to know that what we needed was very little. Really, it was very little to be able to sustain the travel together as a family. Comparatively to what my overhead was, my cost of lifestyle and living in Vancouver was, with all the expenses that we had attached to that. So when you start looking at your life and your lifestyle, start asking yourself, what do I need versus what do I want? Also, ask yourself, what type of metrics will you need to meet your income goal? Meaning, how many clients, and I like to put this even one level deeper, is like, how many people's lives will you need to impact positively to reach your financial goal? How many lives do you have to change? Because if you say to yourself, okay, well, I've got to go change 10 lives a month, and that's going to allow me to make the amount of money I need to now be full-time home with my child, right? That could be your goal. That's amazing. I love that, because we're talking about quantifying goals, but also qualifying goals. And if you just had to make an extra $1,000 a month and be able to cut back on your full-time hours to part-time hours so you can be with family more, amazing, right? Amazing. But setting some clarity around this, not just a number about how much money you're trying to earn, but actually qualify that with what does that money mean to you? What does it mean to your lifestyle? Because again, this is about cementing the intrinsic motivation to achieve these goals. All right, let me give you some quick numbers here. And this has to do with email marketing, but this applies to a lot of other social channels. We talk about how many people can we impact. So if you take the total number of subscribers, there's always going to be typically a conversion rate. And I'm going to give you just some random figures here. And they're not really random. This tends to be the averages in the industry. And when we talk about developing a core offer, which we'll get to in a few minutes here. So let's say you want to make it $1,000 a month. You're going to need about 500 subscribers on an email list, converting at about 2%, right? So 2% of that list, if they convert on a $97 program, that's going to be about 10 customers, which will generate you that $1,000. So it means we would go out and we would create a strategy to attract your first 500 email subscribers or your first 500 loyal followers, or build a community on Facebook, a private group of 500 people that you are there to nurture, to serve, to develop the know, like, trust. And we can count on about 2%. That's about the industry average that would convert, meaning that you put out a great program offer of that first 500, you're probably going to find your first 10. Now, you can see it can sort of start to grow. And this number is not always exact. I have had some clients that have far less clients, right? Far less subscribers on their email list, yet they convert at a much higher rate because it's a very specific niche. They serve this niche very well. People trust them. They like them. They know what they have to offer and they see the value, so they're prepared to make the investment when the opportunity is presented. But this is just general terms as it relates to the numbers that are typically the industry standard. Now, here's a couple other $1,000 scenarios. Maybe you have one client paying you $1,000 a month to be a personal accountability coach, to help them with their nutrition, to provide them with fitness programs, or just a full lifestyle program. That's similar to what Christy and I offer for some of our clients. It's about $1,000 to $2,000 a month, but it's everything. We do life coaching, we do nutrition coaching, we also do fitness coaching. It's a full lifestyle. We go deep with our clients and we get them tremendous results, because at the end of the day, people are investing in a result, right? They're not investing in a product. They're not investing in a service. They're investing in a result that they want. Now, maybe you have a lower price point. Like Simone. Simone actually offers a course, and her course is about $200 to do the 5-week course with her. She brings on 5 clients a month, which she does a lot more. I'll tell you that now. We'll share some figures with you in a second, but just 5 clients at a month doing her course, that's about $1,000. So you can start to play out when you're calculating what you need versus what you want. Start to put a number to it. Well, how many people's lives will I have to change with my program, with my course, with my core offer, right? And once you have those numbers, you can start to reverse engineer backwards the plan and strategy to attain that. Okay? Okay. If you're not familiar with The Go-Giver, it is a book I highly recommend. It's a short read. You'll read it in a couple hours, but it is amazing. And there's these 5 laws that they share. And this law of value, I think, is very true. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment, right? I'm always there to over-deliver, always over-deliver, right? And that way people are always more than happy to not only refer people to me, but they also continuously come back for more value because they love it, right? I'm always looking to deliver. And I know each one of you are probably doing the exact same thing with your audience. And that's amazing. It's amazing. Just to give you an idea on this client a month. If you just brought on one client, you start your first month, you brought on one client, $97. Month 2, you now doubled it. Now you got 2 new clients, then 3 clients, and 4 clients. You can see by the end of month 6, you brought on about $600 a month of extra income. I'm talking about a slow, gradual growth, right? Ask yourself, how can I go above and beyond attracting new clients? I share this example of Peter Shankman as well as myself, where we've been on Twitter, we send out a tweet, and you look at these established companies reaching out to make a connection, to make an impact, because they know we're going to share on social. And this is just asking yourself, how can I go above and beyond, deliver extra value, and stand out? And I just like using these 2 examples because I thought it was so fascinating that YVR Airport reached out to me when I did a tweet that I was at the airport waiting to get on a flight. I forget where I was going. I think I was going to Paris this time. But either way, they reached out and they brought me this little gift. Of course, I was going to share that on social. It was awesome, right? And so if you look at different ways on social to make an impact, stand out, this is going to help you long term. If by the end of 10 months you had brought on now 1 new client a month, you're at about $970 a month, right? Which is almost $12,000 a year. This is a big lifestyle shift. It's a big one, but it's a gradual increase. I'm not talking about 10xing your volume in a month, in 30 days. I'm talking about having a slow growth program that's sustainable, one, but also maintainable. And when I say maintainable, I don't want you compromising your lifestyle, feeling that, oh no, now I'm even more stressed than I was before at my other career because now I've just created a new career for myself. No, because when you do things online, there's lots of smart tools that you can use to help you do this. By the end of a year, you're at about 15,000. Okay. And this is the fun thing that we're going to share with you is that Simone and I have been able to do this for a number of other entrepreneurs with our blueprint. And that's why we're excited to share this blueprint with you right now, because we know this plan works. It's going to work for you, but you have to run the play. You have to take the time. And in a couple of years, imagine that you're at 28,000 a year. And this is just by adding 1 new client a month, not 15 clients a month, not 100 clients a month. I'm just talking about steady, continuous growth. Here's an example. And Simone, do you want to quickly run us through just your first 6 months? Your first 6 months. Obviously, your most recent month, you can talk about that, but just let them know real quick about sort of your progression.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the first month I hustled to get my first 15 clients, but then it's been growing ever since. So 29 clients the second month. Third month, I actually ran before finishing my second month, I got 25 clients and then 39, 57, 68. And then I've been building ever since. And my last round was 132 clients.
132 clients. Pretty amazing. And why I wanted to make note of at month 3, she introduces affiliates program. What this means is if you have people that are really into what you do and they're not in the space, or maybe they don't want to, like she attracts a lot of personal trainers that are interested in nutrition coaching, but they're not prepared to offer that as a service to their clients. So they partner with Simone and they now refer their clients to Simone. And Simone then runs them through their program, but she splits the payment. So it's $197 to do the course. She'll do half and half, 50-50. So any affiliates that refer people to her to enjoy her course, she provides them with half the revenue. This literally helped her grow exponentially because nearly 30 to 40% of every new client that comes every month is a referral. So not only has she made some amazing strategic partnerships with some people that really see value in what she offers, but she's now duplicating these little heroes that are out there sharing her message, and they're both winning on this because the client's getting great results. The trainer that's referring people are getting making a residual income on the side, and on top of that, someone's building her client base. So it's a really smart way of developing your programs and something to consider longer term. Again, you want to get it started. You want to just get a lot of success stories and testimonials, but it's just amazing. And congratulations to the most successful, your most recent one, because I know it was another personal best. And it seems like you have personal best after personal best, which has just been amazing, but it's been a consistent growth. And all of you, just remind us at the end, there's a slide that we're going to share, and we're going to share the strategy that someone's used to do this. Yeah. No paid advertising, not a penny. And she uses just Facebook predominantly. She also uses Instagram now too, but predominantly all of her business and all these clients are coming from Facebook. And she's going to share that strategy at the end. So,
and I want to share really quick that now my rates have switched to US dollars, and my affiliates are earning still 50%, but in US dollars. So that's like crazy incentive for them.
Yeah. If you're from Canada, that's like $1,000 a referral.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's Canadian dollars. They're worth a lot. But no, I think it's absolutely awesome. And just for those that are considering this, or you're in the Canadian market versus US market, even if you're in the European or Southeast Asian market, the US dollar is pretty much a standard currency for invoicing online. It's just the standard. So it was just a matter of time before someone made that switch, which is great. Like I only work in US dollars, and because we're global citizens, we travel all over the world, and the US currency is the one that's most widely recognized and accepted, and is sort of that standard currency. So something to consider when you are building your online programs. Determine which currency makes the most sense for your audience. If you're predominantly just only going to operate in Canada, well, of course, just be a Canadian currency. If you're going to only operate in Bali and you only have Bali clients, you know what? Rupiah, for sure. But as you're developing your online brand, realize you're going to have potential to have clients all across the world. And you want to pick one standard currency, and you'll find more often than not, the US currency is the one that's accepted. So, all right, real quick, in the comment section, for those that are here, what's your monthly target? You know, what do you plan to attain in the next 90 days? Be real, be realistic. I don't want you to throw out some big honking number that makes you scared, or at least so scared that you don't actually go for it, but it should intimidate you. But go ahead, put something out in the chat window. Maybe it's bringing on a half dozen clients in the next 90 days that's going to generate you $2,000 a month. That would be a fantastic target. Either way, just throw it in the chat window, put it in right now. What is the target? You know, because I already know you've committed to doing it. You're going to do something in the next 90 days. Well, now let's put a number to it. Let's put a monthly target. How many people you're going to serve, and the total revenue you're going to generate. Now, write this down. The path to success is to make massive, determined actions. Because again, if there's one thing that you're taking away from today, it's that you're going to learn one or two things. You know, you're going to learn a lot more than that, but you're going to take away one or two things, and you're actually going to take action on those two things. Because if you take the action, you'll actually be now progressing yourself forward versus just staying still, analyzing everything, thinking, maybe I need to change this, maybe change this. Before I do this, I'm going to work on this. You know, you give yourself so many conditions. If this, then I'll do that. Get rid of the conditions. There comes a point in time you just got to take action. You just got to start moving forward, right? Otherwise, you're never going to get closer to your destination. You're just going to be there plotting the map day in, day out, never actually moving forward. So if there's one thing that you can take away today, is you're actually going to make a choice to take action, all right, on something that you learned today. Anything, but you're going to take action. Now, here's number 3, setting up your platform. So Michael Hyatt, amazing resource online. He's got a service called Platform University. I love his podcast. It's something I would recommend. He really talks about leadership development as well as developing online platforms. A platform enables you to cut through the noise and deliver your message or product right to the heart of your best prospects. A platform just refers to you online. Everything that you do online should touch on this. Right? Everything. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you have your own personal website and blog, a podcast, a regular Facebook live stream, whatever it is you're doing, this is all part of your online platform and represents you and how you serve the world. All right? Because you want all these pieces talking to each other, referencing to each other. You want the same message across channels, the same voice, because it is you, right? Because the clearer you are with that, the better opportunity you're going to have to cut through a lot of the other noise that's out there. Really get specific with that niche and that target demographic that you're looking to serve. And this platform is going to help you do that with laser focus. There's 3 benefits to having a really well-established platform, or at least a clear platform. One is visibility, right? Because if you're on a few strategic channels, say Instagram, Facebook, and then a personal website, those 3 can work together. It's going to increase your chances of attracting audiences as well as being seen. You lose something like Facebook or Instagram, it's amazing because friends of friends start to like and comment and interact, and all of a sudden you have more and more people that start to see your things based on the algorithms that are at play. You can amplify your message, by sharing across multiple platforms. But more importantly, and this is the thing that I think we all love tremendously, is connection, the power of connection. Being able to connect with people all around the world on a common message or goal and actually make an impact, make a difference. Like, that is huge. It's huge. Now, when you're thinking about this, I want to show this little graphic here because this comes down to, sorry, I jumped the gun there. Just really quickly, I want to talk about this. So this is the ascension. So generalist, think about it this way. Walmart, which is a very big brand, especially in North America, they're a general store. So it's low prices, you can buy everything, but there's also low quality. Then you move up one, you go to specialist. So a specialist would be someone that's a little bit better quality, still competitively priced with the generalists. This would be a great example, is like IKEA, right? You can go to IKEA, you can have a meal there. You can go buy cutlery there. You can buy a rug there. You can buy a shelf. Like, it's still specializing in home decor, right? And furniture and such stuff. But we wouldn't see that as top quality, right? When we go to that next level, there's an expert level. That might be a specialty store that maybe only does bathrooms. Maybe they only do bedrooms. Now they're really niching down. They're saying, we're going to do bathrooms only, but we're going to be the best at doing bathrooms. And then you might even go one step further. You become an authority in that niche. You do so many great bathrooms. You make these super fancy, amazing places that people want to live in the bathrooms or toilets. And now you become an authority. It might even ascend to one beyond that. You might start to do stuff on TV. You might start being recognized by media as an authority in home renovations, specifically to make these pristine, amazing, palace-like restrooms, right? So this is just an example. But what happens is we should all be striving to ascend this pyramid, right? Because if you're a generalist specialist, even an expert now, there's a lot of people that are experts, right? There's lots of specialists, a lot of generalists. You do not want to compete down there. You don't want to compete down there because it's going to be low price, high volume, and the volume is very competitive because people are just giving that stuff away. It's been commoditized, right? There's not a lot of revenue in it. But becoming an expert and authority in your niche is what you want to strive for. So your platform is going to allow yourself to position yourself as an expert, as an authority. Maybe even ascend to that higher profile or celebrity status, which is what Joe Wicks has done. And that's why I provided him as an example earlier. Simone is easily seen as an expert, and she's now ascending into authority. She's being asked to speak at events. She's being asked to do podcast interviews, because people are now coming across her platform, and they're like, whoa, this girl really knows how to fuel people for weight release, to weight loss. She knows this stuff really well. So she's becoming an authority. Jen Roulon, she's easily authority and high profile in her circles. In the Ironman world, that is who she is. She is seen as a celebrity in the Ironman space. Joe Wicks, celebrity, almost global now. So you can see how people have ascended as they become very specific. And this is why we talk about the niche in your core audience. So this is what a platform can help you do. All right. Here's some positioning strategies, because it's all about positioning. authoritymarketing.com, great blog. I love it. They got lots of good stuff. I just paraphrased one of my favorite articles from it. But you're going to pick a niche. We talked about that. You're also going to be very specific about who the audience is, right? We talked about that as well. Now, personal narrative, your story. I know for the fact, some of you have already reached out. You've had some comments. You've talked about what you're building, who you want to serve, and how you want to make an impact in the world. And it's usually closely tied to a personal story, right? Think about my backstory. I was morbidly obese as a teenager. I was unhealthy. I was depressed. I was thinking about suicide. Like, I was riddled with challenges based on my unhealth and based on where I was in my life. But I overcame that. I made some changes. I consistently made those changes, and I made an effort to do so, and I've changed my life. And this has become a very important narrative within my story, within my life. And it explains to a lot of people why I'm so passionate about what I do. So ask yourself, what is it that you're doing that you're so passionate about? Why are you so passionate about pursuing this? What is your personal story that ties back to that? Because it's a story that people connect with, right? So having a really clear personal narrative is very, very critical, right? To really connect and empathize and sympathize with your core audience. Now, where you are seen and who you are seen with will determine your perception, at least how you're perceived. Realize as a brand, you project yourself one way. You say things, you show up a certain way. Just because you are projecting that doesn't mean you're going to be seen or interpreted as that. But positioning yourself at, say, industry events, networking events where you get to connect with other experts or authorities or celebrities in the space can also be very powerful, because people see you knocking elbows or connecting or networking with some of these other authority figures in your space. It just, again, positions you as somebody else that's also seen as that authority, right? And lastly, be bold, right? Don't be afraid to take a stand for something. If you stand for nothing, if you don't take a stand for something, you probably stand for nothing. That's just paraphrasing a quote. And you have to be prepared to take a stand. And a lot of time you're going to need to polarize your audience, meaning that you're going to take a very clear stance on something and you hold true to that. You are passionate about that, tooth and nail, you protect that. And sometimes it's going to maybe push people away from you, but realize that people you're pushing away probably weren't meant to be part of your community to begin with. I've had people I've pushed away because I've taken a stance on certain things. In particular, my opinion of people just not making a choice to live life differently, giving me lots of excuses. I call them out on excuses, and I say they have a disease called excuseitis, and it offends some people. But I've had people come back to me, maybe over time after they've changed, they've evolved, they've grown a bit, they've done this personal development. They come back and say, I thought you were right. You're absolutely right. And I'm and they're not necessarily saying they're sorry, but they're just agreeing on my position. They agree that that's where they were at, and they agree that they've now made some changes because of being challenged, right? So realize, you're not doing this to offend, you're doing this to help people, to help them grow, to change. Now, hobbyist to author, I want to share this because I told you before, I started my blog just as someone that was doing it as a hobbyist. I was literally answering questions that people were sending to me through social media, through my blog, and I just continuously was creating content to help people. And it slowly evolved into more and more and more. Eventually got to the point now, 11 years later, I've been recognized in a lot of big publications, won numerous awards for the content that I'm creating, but the voice has been consistent. I've been actively doing this over and over again. I didn't set out to do this. It just sort of happened because I was consistent. I was consistent in my messaging and sharing great content. This is, again, the development of a platform. You may not have a website right now, right? It's okay. If you don't have one, don't let that hold you back. Here's an example of something that I did. When I launched our VIP program, Christy and I weren't using our immediate social platforms. We only use Facebook. We did a couple Facebook posts. We invited people to apply for a brand new program we were developing. And literally these 2 posts, we got a number of people that applied. And from that, we had a phone call. We determined whether they were a fit or not, that we could truly help them deal with those pain points, those struggles that they were having. And then we signed up our first clients, our first literally 12 clients joined our programs based on this content that we put out. Now, Simone has a very similar story. And Simone, do you want to share it real quick?
Yes, I would love to. Okay, so I had about 350 connections on Facebook and maybe 50 followers on Instagram when I first started out. And Di encouraged me to share my personal story, which we've been talking about, on social media through a video. And this was incredibly hard for me to do. I had never done a video on Facebook before. I took a million pre-recorded takes. I hated my voice on camera. And I ended up sending 3 of those takes to Di. Well, after I posted the video, I got 2,000 views in 48 hours and countless friends and friends of friends reaching out to me saying, "Thank you for sharing your incredible story. It was so inspiring." In my video, I asked everyone to fill out my survey, which then led to an application for my newest VIP online program at the time. I ended up filling that online VIP program within a week and making $15,000.
I was about to say drop the mic, but don't drop it. We don't want to break it. But I love this because I've seen this happen over and over again. And, Simone, as she's shared, didn't have a website at the time, didn't have a big social following, but she had a passion, she had a mission, she had a vision, and we got clarity on who was her audience, who was she going to speak to. And what was very interesting is the people that filled out the survey and the people that applied to be part of her first program were people just like her. People that connected and resonated with her story, with her message, and what she was passionate about helping people overcome. And literally found her first 6 clients that joined her program and sold out. $15,000 later, had her VIP program off and running. And of course, that gave her then the cash flow to reinvest in other tools like a website, like an automation system, like some of her lead magnets, which she created her email list. So realize we're not saying that you have to go out and create all these little assets when really you probably already have the existing assets. You just may not have the messaging clear yet. And if you get the messaging clear, you can go and find out who in your immediate audience is ready and wanting help right now dealing with that pain that they've already expressed that they're struggling with. And maybe they haven't even expressed it yet. They're just waiting for someone to give them an invite to. So thanks for sharing that, Simone. That was great. All right. Next step, core offer. And I know for some of you, this has been a little bit confusing. I had a few people reach out to me, and I know that some of you are very much like myself. You have too many offers, right? So what do? You got all this great content. You got all these great ways that you can serve people. How do you start to market that? How do you start to connect with people? Well, a core offer specifically should solve one problem, right? Think about it this way: one problem, one solution. And it's very specific, right? To the audience that you've identified, that pain point that you've done some basic research on. You've said, okay, there's an audience out there looking for this solution. I know a lot about this. Maybe I've even had a personal experience overcoming my own issue that is the same problem, and this is how I dealt with it. Now I can help others do it. It should be something that's amazing, right? It should be an amazing solution. But you also have to be mindful that we are in a global marketplace, and it should be priced fairly competitively for what it is that you're offering. But there's lots of ways that you can build the value. But this core offer, if we were to follow Pareto's principle, this 80-20 rule, 80% of your efforts are going to probably market to that specific audience, right? Like that specific program is going to be marketed 80% of the time in a lot of your messaging. It's going to become the main thing, your main one thing. Like for Simone, she shifted gears when she went from her VIP program. She then went into something that was a bit more accessible for more people. She created a course, and it was a lower price point. But for what she's offering and what she delivers, $200 is a steal. It is. We knew that was the price point. That was a home run, resonated well, and she provides a very specific solution for people. She helps them release weight through food, can teach you how to eat what you need, when you need it, and then give yourself a lot of great energy in the process while releasing weight. So she's made it very fun, very specific core offer. Now, realize this: if you don't have your own products or services, there are other means of promoting things or offers that may be made by other people. This is what's known as affiliate marketing. So this business model allows you to promote other people's products, maybe their services, and you earn a commission for promoting it. So we talked a bit earlier, remember month 3, Simone created an affiliate opportunity for some partners where she shares 50-50, that $200 registration fee for her course, she'll split with the person that brings that person to the course. Well, I have just a short story. I was building an email list. We talked about that 500 subscribers, 2% buy, and then you might make 10 transactions on that. Well, I had an email list at the time of only 1,000 people, but they were very specific to my audience, my niche. That I had a good relationship, a good open rate on my emails. I was venturing down the paleo path, and I couldn't find a lot of cookbooks at the time. This is almost, gosh, I guess 8 years ago. There wasn't a lot in the paleo space at the time, but I found this great paleo cookbook, this recipe book, and I found that they had an affiliate program. Like, I already bought it, I loved it, saw there was an affiliate program. I asked if I could be an affiliate. They said yes. They paid 70%, okay, on a $30 sale. I then did an email out to my list saying, hey, I've been doing paleo. You guys have been reading some of my articles on this. I love it. I've been frustrated. I haven't found a lot of variety for what I can eat, but here's a cookbook I absolutely love. I just bought a copy of it. Here's a couple of my favorite recipes. You might like it too. Anyways, take a look. Let me know what you think. I made $1,000 in one email, based on sales of people buying that same paleo recipe book. That was me. At that time, I didn't have any digital products. All I had was my blog and my social networks. But I recognized that I did have an email list. I had a captive audience that were interested in what I had to say and trusted my opinion, because I would vet products and services all the time and then share my experience. And so even where you're at right now, this may be a viable solution if you're in the process of developing your own core offer. You market somebody else's, right? But realize there's not a lot of control here. You're putting all the control in the hand of the person that actually creates the product. You get paid. It's not your customer anymore, right? That customer is now a customer of the person that they just made the purchase from. So you're redirecting traffic and sales. You are making a commission or a percentage of the sale, but you really have no control outside of that. So it is limiting a bit. One thing you have to ask yourself as you start down this path of creating your core offer, your signature program, that thing that you're going to be known for, like it is your main go-to, right? This is it. This is what I want to stand for. I want to take a stand in this. I want to be known as an authority for this specific topic, right? Or genre. What would you need to do to make it impossible for your clients to fail? If you set out to answer that question, bam, you are rocking it, okay? Because you're not going to fail. Anybody that makes that investment, they're going to get the result that they were looking for because you are creating a core offering or a course or a program specifically to help them achieve that result. And you've already planned they're not going to fail. That's why you created it, and you created it in such a way. So think about that question. Write that one down. That is your filter as you head down this path to create a core offer. Now, there's 3 different ways of doing your core offer. The first one's called do it yourself. This would be like courses, ebooks, maybe a one-off program, something that sometimes is a set it and forget it. Like my Whole Life Fitness Manifesto 28-day challenge, which models my book, we give it away for free. It's an email automation. People sign up, they get a daily email that provides them with a workout and some other coaching tips that will help them optimize life, be a little bit healthier, as well as a whole lot happier. And it's just literally something that we set and we forget it. It's free though. People sign up, they opt in online, they join a private Facebook group, and that's where we continue nurturing that relationship. Low service, low price. Now, something to consider is PLR, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, but I just wanted to put this in here just to remind you, if you're someone that's struggling with time and making content, doing the research to make content, using something called PLR, private label rights, this allows you to license other people's content as your own and resell it as your own. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, but it's a great solution for the DIY space. All right, this is an idea. I create content. We send people to a landing page where they then sign up to join. They then get sent email sequences, which often redirect people to a blog article on my website, and we ask them to join a Facebook group. Literally, this is the model. Super simple. I run this entire model over and over again with thousands of people each month in my program. I run it on under $200 a month. Okay. Obviously, I want to monetize it. And so there are certain strategies I put into place that allow us to earn some money from doing what we do and getting people in this program. But this is a great way to serve a community and to build myself authority within a niche. All right. This is do it yourself. Now, the next one is done with you. This is what Simone does amazingly well. And she's just crushed this. She's created a course, a 5-week course. She does it with them. They sign up, and just really quickly, just giving you a snapshot here. Great content. Someone makes some amazing content, mostly on Facebook and Instagram. That's where she creates it. Sends people to a landing page. And these people can either sign up to join her course the next time she runs it, or they can opt in to get a free guide that she's created. And then this free guide then creates an email sequence which continues to develop the relationship and ultimately move people back to checking, to joining the program. So it's this little circular relationship there. Once they've made the purchase, they're then sent a follow-up email which directs them to joining the membership portal, where they get the course online, but they also join a Facebook group, which is what she coaches people over that 5-week period. So it's done with them. They don't do it on their own. They actually sign up. There's a start date and an end date. And because of this is a lot greater value. People are willing to invest a bit more, right? You can realize my Whole Life Fitness Manifesto program, I'm giving it away for free. I'm not coaching anybody. It's a free program, so I don't want to spend any time on it. But if I was charging $200 a month, I would make it a course program, much like Simone's created, because it's a user experience. They do get some coaching. They get camaraderie. It's the community piece that keeps people accountable and helps them get results. Simone has done this beautifully well, and she runs this under $300 a month in services, online services. She uses ActiveCampaign for her emails. She uses Samcart to monitor her payment processes as well as her affiliate commissions. Facebook is free. The member portal is free. She's built it on Squarespace, and it's just a free portal with a back-end membership site. Not overly complicated to set up. It does take a little bit of time, but there's lots of great tutorials out there, or we can help you with that too. But and that's just been awesome. And what's some of the feedback that you've gotten on this so far, Simone?
You mean the funnel part of it?
Yeah, well, just the process through which you take people.
Yeah, well, I think people just love the value. So with that free guide, I mean, it's about 10, 12 pages long, and there's a ton of value. So people see that when they work with me, they're going to be taken care of. And when they see what they get for free, they're like, oh my gosh, well, if I pay for this, what am I going to get? It must be incredible, which is the case. Even though my course is $199 US, I'm going to say they're getting about $500 in value.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So this is done with you. Now, this is my done with you. I just want to show a quick screen grab. This is how I sort of map things out. I know you're probably looking at this and thinking puke, but this is sort of the mind of a marketer and understanding how do you build the traffic? How do you create great content? How do you move people to the funnel, right? How do we direct people on this journey to ultimately making a decision to join your program? So that's just a real snapshot. Don't put this to memory. Don't make a screen grab. I don't expect you to do this, but this is just simply what I've created in my own mind. So I have things straight and I understand the flow, but I have a done for you program. This is what I shared with you earlier. Christy and I did a couple Facebook posts. We shared that we're doing this VIP valet service type of experience where we were going to coach people in nutrition, fitness, as well as offer life coaching. And it was a very successful and fun program for people that get tremendous results. But we do it with them. Again, you'll see a similar model. We run this for under $300 in products, like in services, online services, but we create amazing content. It moves people to an application. If we determine that in that application process, and there's a few questions that we ask that will determine whether or not they're a fit for the program or not. If they're not a fit, we give them copies of my book and we direct them to our free program and say, hey, just do the free program, join our free community. This is actually a better place for you to start right now. If we do determine in the application that they are a potential candidate for the program, we book a complimentary transformation call. And from that call, they either decide to join the program or not. And then we invoice them right away. We do an onboarding call. We set them up with a few pieces of technology to help us coach them and effectively create the result. And that's it. That is the process. And it's a 12-week journey that we guide them on. This is more of a VIP signature program experience. This is similar to what Simone did when she sold out her first program, brought on 6 clients. She followed a very similar model to this. So again, if you're someone that's coaching or creating programs or courses, you have to think about what is the user experience that you want to create and what is the journey you want to guide people on. There are some turnkey options, one of which is Coach Catalyst. All right, Coach Catalyst is third-party software. It is cloud-based. You can literally go in there and create your own challenges that will be then app-based that your clients can then register, and you can charge them and give it away for free, or you can use some of their PLR programs. They're done for you programs. So they already have challenges, man. You could do a sugar-free challenge for 28 days. Literally, you could be turnkey. You could set up your own branding, send an invite out to your audience, and be running a challenge like literally same day. Through this third-party software, Coach Catalyst. So I know life coaches that are using some of these to run their challenges or their programs. I also know nutrition coaches, fitness coaches. I mean, basically anybody that's coaching can use this platform. They've really designed it to help coaches. So that's Coach Catalyst. If you're someone that's more in the nutrition space and you offer nutrition coaching or consulting to your clients, Evolution Nutrition can be branded as your own. They have already a bunch of meal plans, lots of foods. You can brand it as your own. It starts at about $20 a month and up, but it's another third-party software that you can use to help coach your clients. Trainerize, for anybody in the fitness space, this is pretty much the go-to. I've tried them all. It's my favorite by far. Very, very slick. You can even use a personalized app, great in-app communications, great video libraries, just fantastic. Starts at as little as $5 and up a month, depending on how many clients you're training or coaching. But this is a third-party tool I'd recommend for fitness. Pro Coach, if you're a certified precision nutrition coach, you get access to their annual program. It's literally a 1-year nutrition program. They also give you all the branding materials and all sorts of cool stuff. It costs anywhere from about $99 a month and up, but you can literally take people on a 1-year nutrition journey, and it's nutrition education and accountability and coaching. A great third-party tool. That's what Christy and I use in our VIP program. So it's again, just a great option for those that are looking for a third-party solution, especially in the nutrition space. You do have to know a bit about liability. I'm just going to recommend that you check out consciouscounsel.ca. A good friend of mine, Corey, he's also helped Simone. He is a digital nomadic lawyer. You know, he is all over the world. Most recently, he was in India for a number of months, and then he went down to South America. I think he's back in Canada right now, but he's going to the UK. But he knows law, especially for people that are coaches and in the online space, creating unique content, especially health professionals, you know. So I would just recommend checking out his platform. He's got a lot of great information. At the very least, if he can't help you, he does know somebody that can. But it's important to know a bit about some of the regulations as well as liabilities and types of insurances you may need if you're coaching and working with people online. All right, number 5. This is one of my favorite parts because this is really where it comes down to content creation. We're going to build your know, like, and trust. You're going to want to build an email list because this allows you to keep regular contact with people, deliver great value, and as well as you're going to want to create regular, valuable content on the other online spaces, whether it be your own website, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And you want to nurture your community. Develop those relationships, just like any other relationship you would develop in everyday offline life. You want to apply the same principle to online. You might be wondering, what is a sales funnel? You've heard us reference this a few times. A sales funnel is basically just a process. It's a process through which you, first of all, engage a client and then eventually bring them to a point where they make a decision to potentially buy or not buy from you. You create awareness through great content. You generate interest through delivering more content. You also may provide them with an opportunity to either join you in one of your programs or to engage you in a call or whatever it might be, but you're asking them to make a decision. And then once they've made that decision, there's then a follow-through action. Then it's called AIDA, A-I-D-A. And this is the basic understanding of a sales funnel. And it's done lots of different ways, but it's literally just a journey that you take a client on. Here it is again. You got traffic, and in traffic, you're developing the knowability. You're starting to share on Facebook. We'll just use Facebook or Instagram as an example. You create some great content. You are then pointing people to your website. You're saying, hey, oh, right now I've got this free resource guide that you can grab. Just click on my URL in my bio, like on Instagram, right? You just like click my link in bio. You can get this free resource guide that will teach you how to never diet again, right? People then opt in for that. They now are on your email list. They get a welcome email, which delivers that free piece of content, that cheat sheet, that resource guide, whatever it might be. They then consume that resource guide, meaning that they actually open it, they look at it, they understand it, and they think, oh, I like this. You then continue to deliver more content. You develop more and more trust. And eventually, you want to direct them to taking some action. Visiting potentially a sales page, or you got a new program you're about to release. Maybe you want some beta testers, whatever it might be, but you're now directing them, right, to make a decision or take some action. But this happens over time. You can't just meet somebody for the first time, and I always equate it to dating. You know, it's like you show up on the doorstep to take the date out, and you know, you lean in for a kiss before you've even said hello. Well, that's a bit presumptuous, right? I don't know. I didn't work like that for me back in the day, but you know, you actually have to develop this know, like, trust. So think about your audience online. How do you develop that trust? How do you get them to know you? How do you get them to trust you? And this is where creating great, valuable content. This is another representation, very, very simple. You have traffic that comes from social media sharing, from Facebook posts, whatever. You move them to a page where either they opt in or they don't opt in. If they opt in, you send them a series of emails. You know, and usually you deliver content and content. Maybe you do a slight little test offer, more content, and then a final offer. That is a very dumbed down, keep it simple, sexy funnel. All right. You can understand this. It's very clear. You can set this up for free using certain tools out there. Again, I do get people that ask me about paid traffic. I don't teach people paid traffic initially when they first start because I'm more interested in you bootstrapping it, meaning that you do it on a budget, right? You can. Once you understand your audience, you know you've got a great service, a great product, you know the audience so clearly, now you've created targeted ads based on this audience. You've got it really, really specific. Now you want to start paying people to see certain content you're creating to direct them to getting that free resource. Then they get into the funnel, they start to get the nurturing email sequence. Again, this is great, but if your lead magnet's not working, if your funnel's not converting, it's not having success, why would you want to spend money sending people to that, right? It's just not a great idea. And so that's why I like to encourage people how to do this the free way by creating great content, creating engaging content, building up this trust with your audience, because it is slower to build, but doesn't cost any money, but it's also sustainable. And once you've proven the model and you've started to convert, then you can decide paid marketing, start to throw a little bit of money at it to test, okay? Decide on which process you're going to do, and then you just got to take action and run the play, right? run the play. Setting up a free email list with MailChimp, very simple. Just even starting a newsletter so you can start to nurture these people online. Great idea. Maybe that's your first thing. Maybe you don't have an email list right now. You're not collecting emails. That can be your first step. Sign up for a free MailChimp account. Start collecting emails. Create some email sequences or a newsletter that you put out maybe once a week. Start developing that relationship. So when you do come down to a core offer, you've already got an audience that's warm, that likes what you do. They already trust you, and they're interested in what you have to say. All right, number 6, help your clients find you. This is really what it comes down to is social media marketing, right? And marketing your brand. You got to choose what your content themes are. You want to connect with like-minded audience. And this is why we got really clear in step 1, right? In step 2, we were talking about your niche and your core avatar. And don't focus on numbers. Don't worry about how many likes or how many clicks or how many comments you're getting. Don't concern yourself about that. That's going to change. You know, when Simone started with me, we actually focused on her numbers. You know, she had less than 300 contacts on Facebook, right? And at the time on Instagram, she didn't even have an Instagram account yet. Or she had it, but she wasn't using it. So just don't focus on the numbers. Focus on the message, right? Focus on just connecting with those right people, creating great content, and bringing them on board. I have a 7-step social media strategy. For those that are more interested in this specifically, I have a separate standalone course on this. I'm not going to go into all detail right now, but it's similar to exactly what we've been talking about. You got to have a goal. You have to start listening. So go onto social platforms. I'm going to recommend everybody be on Facebook. Everybody. Okay. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're selling. There's 2.6 billion people on Facebook. I know there's 10 clients there for you. Start listening to some of the conversation. Join some groups, right? Once you're in there, start to create some content. Create some conversations on subjects. Don't go in there trying to sell people. Go on there to serve people. Start to share some good content. Interact with people that are commenting on your content. If someone says something on your post or likes your post, send them a quick message, right? I mean, it's only time, but it's great time because it's someone that's already acknowledged you, said, hey, I like this. So be respectful, reply back. I just comment right on the post itself and say, hey, thanks for the like, or thanks for your comment. What did you think about this? Did this stir up any emotions? Whatever. I like to ask questions in a lot of my posts. For those that follow me on Facebook, if you don't follow me on Facebook, let's connect on Facebook so you can sort of see some examples. And especially follow Simone, follow Jen Rulon. Both are people that are doing amazing things. And then you want to start to measure, see what's having results, because then you're going to recalibrate your goal and you start the cycle over and over again. All right. So a simple 7-step strategy. Same strategy we apply to help anybody market their businesses and attract their clients. These are some basic numbers. These are updated as of the beginning of this year. Again, it's going up. I know Facebook, they've said by 2019, it should be around 2.6 billion people per month. You can see Instagram's over 1 billion. So if you're going to choose 2 channels right now, just 2, I would say Facebook and Instagram. You could use YouTube, but I would take video content you're doing on Facebook and Instagram and then repost it on YouTube to begin with. And then you optimize it because YouTube is really a search engine. Yeah, it takes a lot longer to build a YouTube channel than it will take to build Facebook and Instagram. But they're all valuable. I would say don't worry about Snapchat. Don't worry about Twitter. Okay? Just don't even go there if you're not there. All right. Google it. This is back to the idea. Remember, Google, find out what are the most popular platforms people are going to find out the information that you're looking for. If we look at how to lose fat fast, we can see right now bodybuilding.com comes up quite prominently. Women's Health Magazine, healthline.com. These are people that have really started to niche down in this space and create content. Check it out. See what they're doing. Do you agree with their content? Do you not agree with it? How do you think you can take that content, apply your own voice and beliefs and philosophies, and repurpose it to give it a different message, right? And look at what's getting good comments, what's getting good engagement. You know, go to their Facebook page, bodybuilding.com, check out their Facebook page, search out content that's being created, see what's popular, see what people are liking. You know, use Google. It's a free tool. Use it. All right, use it. This is the wheel of content marketing. You have the basic strategy. We've talked about this. You already have an idea of what you want to be known for, what you want to be an authority. You're going to create some good content around that. You're going to distribute it through social media. You're going to distribute it through your own website. If you have one, if you don't, then just social. You want to amplify this either with paid advertising, which I'm not going to recommend. I'm just going to recommend that you do it organically. You comment, you engage, you share, right? You engage with people that are engaging with your content. I'd rather you spend more time creating and engaging with your own content than going out there and consuming other people's content. People always ask me, well, how do you do all this with your time? How do you have time? And I'm honest with people. 80% of the time, I'm creating content and engaging with people in my community. That is what I do. The other 20% is probably where I'm actually consuming a bit of content, watching a video here, listening to a podcast there, but it's very specific to help me become better at what I do in the other 80% of the time. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Just look at how you're using your time, right? And then we measure it, we optimize it, and we re-strategize. It's really stupid simple. Like it is. And we can overcomplicate. I've seen some content marketing maps that would make you throw up, okay? Because there's just too much, right? I have a very sample of a simple funnel with a very simple deliverable. And I created this email opt-in, a free ebook, Positive Mindset. And then I have an email sequence that lasts about 3 weeks that all helps people with developing a positive mindset. You can sign up for that. You can get the free emails. You can get the ebook. You can see how I've created this funnel. And it ultimately directs people to hopefully joining one of my programs. Yes, no, if they don't, it's fine. It's all good. But at the very least, I'm now known as someone that can really help people with creating a positive mindset shift, right? So ask yourself, what do your clients want? What info are they looking for? And research the platforms that are creating content around that to figure out what you can add to that conversation or change the conversation. I know you're probably thinking, Dad, you've already said all this. Yeah, I have. And I'm going to say it again, because this is basically the same strategy you're going to use to attract your first 10 clients, as well as the future 10 clients and the next 10 clients after that, because it's this cycle that you create. You create an amazing platform. Realize a Facebook post has about a 24-hour lifespan. Instagram, even less than that. So people, I tell Simone all the time, she's doing Facebook Live videos regularly. And I'm like, you can redo some of your most popular videos. You can even do the ones that weren't very popular. Redo them every 3 months, because chances are that people saw it the first time 3 months ago. It's a different audience now. And even the audience that saw it 3 months ago, they're not going to remember it all. It's got like a 24-hour lifespan. People don't go back on Facebook and go back on people's timelines to rewatch stuff that they've already shared. It's very much in the moment, in the now, which is great, but not great if you're looking to create a big library of content. All right, here's some types of content. You can do GIFs, right? You can do stories on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Have some fun with that. Give people a little shot of who you are. You can use user-generated content. You look at big brands. They're always sharing other people's content. Some of the content being created by part of their audience, part of their community. Simone's very, very good at this. She takes some of the before and after photos that her clients share. She shares some of their posts, some of the recipes, which is great. She's now using some of her actual clients' content to help her with her own content creation. You can also look at infographics, right? Create a great infographic, find some infographics that you like, go on Google, just make sure you give attribution or a link back to the site that it originally originated. But it's, again, another way of adding more information and more value. Infographics are great content. Quotes. I love quotes. I share quotes. Go to my Instagram feed. You'll see every third post is a quote. They get tons of engagement. That lots of people liking them. I get people sharing them on their stories. They do a screen grab of my quote, and I get requoted on it. It's great, right? And just give your own taste on that. I also do Facebook Lives quite regularly. I optimize it, and it's just another way of adding a lot of value. These are types of content. And here's a little hack. Write this one down. Let's just say you did a video. You did a Facebook Live video. You then hire somebody on Upwork. Upwork's a third-party website. You can find contractors all over the world. I hire people out of India and the Philippines all the time. They'll take my video. They'll then rip out the audio so I can make it just into an audio format. Maybe I make it into a podcast. They'll also transcribe the that audio or video into an actual written article, right? So I've got this full transcription of my video. So I've either now taken that one video and turned it into a podcast. Maybe I've hired an editor to make it into articles. I pulled out some quotes from that. Either way, maybe I make an ebook out of this. I've taken one piece of content and I've repurposed it to use it on different platforms. So if you are finding that you're stuck on time or you just don't have the time to create great content, focus on one thing. Create one great piece of content, find a couple contractors that can help you with repurposing that content on other means. And this is going to save you a lot of headache, right? A lot of time, and it's going to allow you to continuously add value to your communities. All right. I also talked about PLR before. This is the hack. Go to Google, type in PLR, and then plus sign, and then in the little quotation marks, whatever you're interested in. I use cookbook just as a very specific example. So you can see cooking PLR ebooks at plrstore.com, plrcookbooks.com itself. These are great websites where you can go to and you can find cookbooks, nutrition guides, recipe books specifically that you can then license to repurpose as your own, to republish as your own, to share as your own. Pretty cool, right? So this is a great way. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I don't make recipes. Like I don't actually create recipes from scratch. So I'll very often license ones from nutritionists or dietitians or people that are experts in that field. And I license the content and then I repurpose it as my own for my programs. I have no problem telling people that. Yeah, of course I do that. I'm not a cook guy. I'm not a foodie, okay? I like to eat food, but I don't know enough about it. I can teach you how to eat and how to eat based on macronutrients to get a certain result. So I know the science of it, but I don't know the culinary art side of it, right? So ask yourself, what is the subjects that you're looking to add value and create content around? And this is another shortcut that you can use to find inspiration as well as speed up the process of creating great content to share. And now we come to the last step. Attract your first 10 clients, and you want to repeat that and scale it, if you want to. You want to make sure your message is consistently simple, right? You don't want to overcomplicate things. Go and look at Simone's videos, her Facebook Live videos. We're going to talk about her Facebook Live strategy in just a second. But you want to stay focused and be authentic. Don't apologize for being you. You are you. Just show up as you. Don't try to create some fake persona, because at the end of the day, that's really hard to sustain. Right? It really is. You're going to one day wake up and be like, I just don't want to do this anymore, because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be fake. You don't want to be putting it out there. There's a great documentary on Netflix right now. I forget what it's called, but it's all about social media. I think it's called Meme something. Anyways, it's available on Netflix. Check it out. It shows some of the most popular influencers on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and just these personas that they've created for themselves and how exhausting and lonely it's become for them. They've got great businesses online. From the outside looking in, it looks amazing. But when you actually start to get to know them and you see what their day-to-days look like, wow, it is exhausting, because it takes a lot of energy to be something that you're not, right? So keep that really front of mind. It's going to help you long-term. Now, core offer, right? Think about that. What is that thing you want to be known for? What is it? How well do you want to be known for that? How are you going to deliver on that? What is the result you're going to create? And I'm going to ask Simone really quickly, what does she do to really push her core offer out there? Specifically, how does she use it on Facebook? So go ahead, Simone, share your 4-step Facebook strategy. And this is, guys, this is exactly what she does week after week, month after month, to literally see the growth that she's had to now having a multiple 6-figure business in 18 months. Go ahead, Simone.
Okay. So first of all, I have a call to action. It's a really strong call to action 3 to 4 weeks before my start date. And then I do a daily Facebook Live video. And this is really key. I do this for 3 weeks solid leading up to the start date. And I highlight hero stories. So I'm talking about my clients, the results that they're seeing. So I'm not really focusing on me and how great I am. I'm really focusing on my clients and their achievements. And then as we get close to that date, 1 to 2 weeks out, I announce that we're 50% full. I always have a finite number that I'm aiming for each month, just so I know that I can serve that amount of people. And I am 50% full when I announce it. And then I announce that I'm sold out when I'm sold out, and I've sold out every single round.
I love it. And so awesome. And if you go just check out her profile, check out her Facebook Live video. She does it all on her personal profile. And it's pretty incredible because it's just creating great content that adds a lot of value. And subtly she'll put in a call to action to some of them. And then she's very forthright in saying that, hey, if you're someone that struggles with this or wants more help with this, join my course. We got it starting in 2 weeks time. I got X amount of spots left, but really simple. It's not super salesy. It's just, again, giving people the opportunity, the invite to join, if they're looking for that help. So thanks for sharing that, Simone. Okay. Now, action is the foundational key to all success. Literally, action. You've heard me say this. So we're going to review it. You're going to start thinking about a niche. You're going to do some basic research. You're going to set some goals, a little bit of financial goals, but also how many people do you want to go and change their life? How many people? Every month, how many lives do you want to impact? You're going to determine the online platform and how to develop that. Most likely for majority of people, I'm going to say that you're probably going to be on Facebook, guaranteed, and maybe Instagram as well, right? Maybe you will add your own website eventually, but you don't need that to start, okay? So if you think that you need a website, no, you don't, all right? You do want to get clear on what the core offer is. What is that main thing that you're going to focus on for now? What do you want to be known as an authority for? And realize that one thing can branch off into other areas later, but get really well known for what that one core offer is now. Build the know, like, trust, right? You're leveraging social media, deliver great content, create an email list, a free lead magnet, right? Something to get people to opt in and join your email list and your newsletter list. You know, you're going to give them a little gift to say thank you. And maybe it's a cheat sheet or a guide that relates to your core offer. It should contextually make sense. If you're a pro golfer, you're not going to give away, hey, my top 5 tennis tips. You know, like, just doesn't make sense. You're not going to do that, right? Someone's teaching people how to lose weight through eating. She's not going to do, oh, here's a hard gainer meal plan. You know, it's not going to make sense, right? Then people are you're going to help them find you. This is where social media is really, really important. And then we're going to do that 10 clients. We're going to hone in and really put a call to action out there very specifically to find the first 10 or at least generate that first $1,000 in revenue. Because once you've done that, you've proven the model, you start to get great feedback from these people, and we're going to freaking celebrate, right? Because it's like, woo, I've done it. I've got my first $1,000. I've created a business. This is a business now. And then you get to decide, well, do I want to continue doing this? Okay, yeah, it did take a little bit of work. I can see how I can be more effective with my time. I can reinvest this first $1,000 to now invest in some tools, maybe hire somebody to help me with this, to do some of these other pieces that I don't want to do so I can focus on finding more clients and serving the ones that I get. All right. Why did you show up today? Right? Like, really, why did you show up? Well, you know you want to change how you're currently doing business, but there's too much to know and not enough time to do it. I know that, right? I mean, that's what a lot of you expressed to me. I totally understand it. Been there, done that, still doing it. All right. But you know that you want to make a change. You know you are capable of doing so much more, as well as making a greater impact, but not sure of where or how to start. I saw a lot of people that were fairly confused about how to start. I hope you've got some clarity around that today, because really the idea is just starting, right? Pick 1 or 2 things, start doing some research, start getting known for content around that thing, you know, especially if it's a core offer. But you still may not be confused. You might be still a little bit confused on how to get started. And why is this webinar? Well, you just might be someone that wants to be told and actually showed not only what to do, but how to do it, to see real measurable results online. And we talked about this masterclass and some of the past clients that just graduated from our first program. We literally just trialed our first program. I work with people usually for a year at a time, one-on-one format. It's a lot of work. It's intense, but I can only talk to the person 1 hour a week, and we go deep and we develop a business for you. But I believe that we could accelerate that process. And Simone worked with me to really distill down the most effective and useful amount of time to develop a program that we can deliver in 12 weeks to provide the same results. Now, the obvious question, how do I make all of this work so I can get things up and running quickly? And this is just the last part, because I know some of you want to know a bit more about the masterclass. You've got some great ideas leading into this. For some of you, this is just a final little piece to answer some of the questions that you've asked before we go into Q&A. Option 1 is always the complicated and confusing way. Continue doing things as you are. Continue researching. Continue looking for solutions to help you create this first program, to create your core offer, to start marketing yourself. Just again, trial and error. It's not the most effective way of getting results, but it works as long as you're consistent with it, right? Very important. Option 2 is simple and strategic. What does that mean? Well, simple and strategic means actually following a roadmap, following a blueprint, following a plan. That's where we're happy to announce My First 10 Clients A to Z Blueprint. It is literally our 12-week course. All right. It's a fully done with you solution where we provide a lot of extra support and help. Ali Tai, literally, this is some of our grads that have just completed the program. You know, so this is, you learn everything you need to know to successfully take your business online. I now know what to do and, more importantly, how to do it. Now, the most interesting thing about Allison is she created $8,000 in online revenue before she even graduated the program. This is before we completed. She had already generated $8,000 online revenue. We also have Miranda. This is what she had to say. It's a freaking awesome, effective, result-oriented, and priceless online course creation masterclass. Miranda created $6,000 in online revenue before she graduated the program. Francis, it is a fantastic full-on facilitated by engaging and supportive people who already have thriving businesses and know what they're doing. I am even more motivated to move forward and work on creating a successful online stream to my business. Francis created $2,000 in online revenue before graduating. Kate, this is what she had to say when we asked her about how do you describe this program to everybody? You know, she says it is possible to make a good living from an online business. It's not just a pipe dream. You don't have to invest thousands of dollars to get it going. This course is a must for anyone considering taking a coaching type of business online. Kate also generated almost $1,000 in online revenue with her first program course that she just offered up, and she did that before she graduated as well. Emma, I love sharing Emma's story. She's a full-time single mom running a successful personal training business. This is what she had to say. This program provides step-by-step instructions to create greatness online. I now have the confidence and knowledge about being online. She had no idea how to begin, no idea where to start, what her core offer was. It was amazing. And even social media intimidated her. She created almost $5,000 in online revenue before she completed the program. And then one last testimonial, and then I swear we'll just get on with it and answer some questions. This is what Kaz had to say. This program is a boundary expanding, life-changing educational opportunity. I'm more confident, more focused, more knowledgeable around the evolving and changing online world platform. Excited to see the direction things are going. Kaz generated $2,200 in online revenue before she graduated. I know, it's crazy, right? This complete A to Z blueprint for creating a profitable online platform and creating the foundation for a successful business with your first 10 paying clients. That is what the program is about. That is what we set out. We asked ourselves, what's the one thing, one result we want to help other entrepreneurs create online? This is it. This is what the program includes: step-by-step comprehensive online business blueprint, guided weekly done with you video lessons, weekly group live calls with both Simone and myself, accountability check-ins every week. We have a private Facebook community for all the students. You also get a bonus right now where we include 5 one-on-one 30-minute coaching and mentorship calls. This is one-on-one, just with Simone and I, where we go deep in your business, provide you with deep feedback and strategy on your business that you're in the process of developing or relaunching. We also grant, for those that graduate and graduate with flying colors, 1 extra month of mastermind coaching, and that's something that's provided to graduates only. What you'll create is a unique advantage in your business. You're also going to create an incredibly engaging and authority-building platform. You're going to grab a lot of attention in building a list, building lead magnet. You'll have a business that provides you more money with less time, a business that supports your lifestyle, as well as an online business serving your first 10 clients. That is it. All right. I'm going to invite you, for those that are interested. It doesn't start until January, but we're only accepting applications starting today. You can go to applymasterclass.com, fill in an application. At the end of the application, we invite you to book a complimentary impact breakthrough call with Simone and I. It's a 30-minute call where we will go deep with you, as deep as we can in 30 minutes, talk about you and what you're looking to build and how you want to change the world and your clients' lives, and we'll determine whether or not you're a fit. And if you're a fit, we'll explain how the program works. And of course, we would invite the opportunity to have you join us in January to start our next round of the My First 10 Clients Masterclass. But that is it. That is all. I want to take some time right now. I know we're getting close to the end, and but I want to address some of your questions with some of the answers that hopefully I can provide you some insights. But thank you all for joining us today. I know time is always valuable, and I always extremely appreciated and honored to have people share their time with me and make this a priority. So I hope that you took some value and some insights away from today's call. Just take 1 or 2 things, apply it to what you're building right now, and I know for a fact that you're going to progressively move forward and get closer and closer to that goal that you have. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions, and let's see where we're at right now. I'm going to my chat window. All right. Look at the chat window. Whoa, there's lots of questions. Okay. All right. Darcy asks a great question. If you're working on certifications, do you market yourself now or when you're actually done your courses? Wonderful. That is a great question, Darcy. And actually, you know, a lot of us that have specializations or an expertise in a certain area, a lot of it comes through not necessarily being certified, but being qualified. And I want you to understand, in whatever area that you are now learning to get certified in, it's probably because your passion has gotten to a certain point where you're like, you know what, I want to take this next step. I want to get some certifications around this. But I bet you're already quite qualified. And qualified comes through experience. I call it wisdom, practical wisdom. And I'm very open with people, and I share when I'm going through that process of learning a bit more education. It's to help my communities. But I would start talking about it. I wouldn't worry and have this if this, then that approach. I find most people, they're not really concerned whether I'm certified or not. They look at past experience. They look at the results that I've created for my communities. They look at the community itself and who's interacting and what they're getting. They look at the value. It's that know, like, trust piece. If they know you know what you're talking about, they like you and they trust you, that's all that matters. You know, and my gut always tells me, most of the people I talk to, and they have this similar concern, it really comes down, I bet you're more than qualified to do it. even though you may not have a certification yet to say that you are. Because I, again, look at past experience. So hopefully that answers your question. I would definitely just start the process, start building out the audience, start warming them up to the idea that you're building to this launch of a new program or a course or an offer, and just start developing those relationships. Amy, what is the best platform to use for video? And is streaming better? Creating a video library, but how do you prevent people from sharing? How do you prevent? Okay, so there's a couple things here. One of the best platforms I love the most is Facebook Live. All right, or Instagram TV/Instagram Live. You know, you can do live streaming on that platform as well, but I love Facebook. I find everybody's on Facebook, and as you start to build up an audience there, engaging with them works fantastic. You can also build a library on your page, and live streaming does get preferential treatment. I know on Facebook, if I post a video that I've pre-recorded and I upload it, it doesn't necessarily get as much organic engagement as I would if I did a Facebook Live. Because Facebook Live, it is treated preferentially, even though Facebook says it doesn't. I've read and I've studied and I've watched in my own experience that it's funny. But when I go Facebook Live, and after that video is posted, more of my audience sees it and engages with it. So I really do like Facebook Live. But you could take that and you could repurpose it or share it on other channels as well. So even though you did it on Facebook to begin with, you can share it elsewhere. Now, if you are creating a video library, you have to ask yourself, do you want the video library to be public or private? If it's going to be private and people only get access to it through a link, then I would use YouTube, and I would use it as not necessarily a private video, but as a hidden video. You know, you get a couple options there, and it's the one that allows you. The only way people can get to it is if they get the link themselves and click on it directly. So it's a great way to build a library and only have it available to a small audience. But you can do the same with Facebook groups. You can post a Facebook Live in a group, and only people in the group will get access to it. So those are a few things. Did you want to add anything to that, Simone?
I do. I was hoping to jump in. I love Facebook, especially for videos. And not only does Facebook give it preferential treatment, but every single one of your friends on Facebook is going to get a notification that you went live. So that notification is golden because they're way more likely to watch that video. So I make it a non-negotiable with my business to do at least 3 Facebook live videos per week. And when I am 2 weeks from launching my course, I do them every single day. And I know that that is really the marketing backbone of my company.
I love that. That's fantastic. Great response. And actually, I got one more for you, Simone. This is from Catherine.
Yeah.
She wanted to know, how did you get over the fear of personally putting yourself out there online?
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad somebody asked this question.
Yes.
Because, oh my goodness, first of all, thanks to Di for pushing me to do it. And it was hard. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of self-doubt and I didn't think I could do it. And Di just kept on pushing me and telling me that, you know, I had a message and that I could serve people and I could help people and broaden my audience. And that really propelled me to do it. So every time I jump on to a live video now, I keep that at top of mind. I'm here to serve people. It's not about me. It's not about my fears. I am here to help people and spread a really important message.
Awesome. I love that. And that's so true. And I just quickly popped on video because I want to say, hey, everybody. And yeah, I had a workout boo-boo, so pardon the bandage. I was asked a question by Paula, what microphone am I using right now? It sounds amazing. Well, thank you. It's a Yeti Blue mic. And it's about $150. You can buy it on Amazon. It is amazing. I travel with it. It's a bit bulky to travel with, but it's worth it because it's probably the best mic you can get for the price point. And so I record podcasts. I do interviews all the time with it. Like it's awesome. So yeah, thanks for asking. That's a Blue Yeti mic, and it's just awesome. Now, there was another question I also got here, and this one was from Paula as well. She asked, as an executive coach to lawyers, do you have any recommendations to get my brand out there, as well as how to strategize and prioritize which platform? Well, that's great, Paula. You know, it's interesting because I've actually coached lawyers, you know, Corey being one of my clients. And for him, we found that Instagram's just been an amazing channel for him. Now, again, he is a lawyer branding himself for his lawyer. So you want to be a coach to lawyers. I would start first and foremost looking and researching where lawyers hang out. What platforms are they active on? My gut tells me that they're probably going to be active on Facebook. They'll probably at least have a channel there, but probably more than likely LinkedIn is going to be a big one for them. You know, now marketing on LinkedIn is a little bit different, but creating great content that explains how you help these people, and thinking of a way to create a signature program or something that's proprietary. When I say proprietary, I mean, that's a very loose term. I mean, we know this if we look into law. What does proprietary really mean? Well, specifically, let's just say you create a blueprint. You create a systematic approach to helping these lawyers, and you start to brand that specific approach. And we call that your signature program, your core offer. It's a blueprint, right? And it's a blueprint you use to help these lawyers specifically achieve a certain result. And you got to be very clear on what is that result. And so I would start to look at probably LinkedIn and Facebook to create video content as well as written content, maybe your own website as well. And because I think, you know, just knowing most lawyers and lawyers I've worked with, time is always of the essence. They seem to be always just go, go, go. So I think being able to listen to a video or watch a video rather than reading a text is probably going to be better for them. But again, just start doing some research. Look for some closed groups on Facebook that you might be able to join, some LinkedIn groups that you might be able to join that are in that lawyer space. And number one thing is real life events. You know, getting out to events or meetup groups, maybe industry shows that are specific for the law space, and starting to connect with some of these people. And I would even just create a survey and start reaching out to people on LinkedIn and just explaining a quick introduction, who you are. You're doing some research. This is sort of what you do to help lawyers. You see you're a lawyer. I see you're active on LinkedIn. Do you mind just giving me 2 or 3 minutes just to answer some questions I have as I'm creating this new program? Again, this is one extra step, but something that you can definitely do. So these are just a couple ideas, okay? But again, a little bit of trial and error because you're going to have to just test some things and see what works, see what gets engagement, but I feel that's a good approach. There was also another question from Casey. How do you get more followers? I want to make sure to answer this one as well. And this idea of attracting followers, I think, you know, I forget because I've been doing this a lot. You know, for 10 years, over 10 years now, I've been active on Facebook, on Twitter, you know, my own blog. So I've just organically garnered traffic and just grown over time. But I think if we look at Simone's case and look at what she's done in the last 18 months, going from less than 300 Facebook connections to where she is today, running literally a multiple six-figure business, and all of her traffic's coming from Facebook and Instagram alone, I think she can answer this question even more specifically for someone that's maybe looking to build a following now, specifically today. So Simone, did you want to answer that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've never been caught up in the metrics. I never look at how many followers I have and get caught up on that number. And the reason is because I want to make an impact even in one person's life. So the power of one is pretty huge, because if you make an impact, a good impact on one person's life, this will, you know, get them to this, maybe a mom, and then her husband starts eating well, and then her kids start eating well, and then her friends see how great she is, and they start doing what she's doing and want to be part of the plan as well. So I always focus on just helping people, and I don't get caught up in the metrics. I really don't have a ton of friends on Facebook right now. I think I have maybe 800 friends. That's really not a lot. My Instagram followers are growing, but again, I don't know if that's a direct correlation with, you know, the signups in my courses. I really believe that it's the power of one, and then referrals from that one person that you've helped.
Awesome. I love that. And yes, I agree. Just create great content, and over time, people start to resonate with the content. The more people engage with the content, and I always like to encourage people, make sure if you have someone that comments on a post, take the time to respond back. That's a great use of your time, rather than going and consuming and scrolling up and down or liking other people's stuff. Go back to your content that's getting engagement and re-engage with those people. Even if you do it 24 hours later, you'll find that this gives your post a secondary life. You know, we talked about that life, that half-life, if you will, is about 12 hours to 24 hours. Well, what if you could double that just by engaging and re-engaging with people who have already commented on it? And you'll find that over time, you're going to start to attract more people. I loved using free challenges. That's what I started with about 6 years ago, creating free challenges online to serve a community, provide a lot of value. Again, I wasn't thinking about monetizing the online space, and that worked really well for me for building a community, a real loyal community of people that I've provided tremendous value to and built that trust with. So again, another idea that you could consider. There's lots of different ideas, and that's the thing. And I think most people just have to pick one and then run that play for a little bit. Now, I do know that it was the last call for questions, and I think I'm going to take this one last one here, or we might have two, but what is the time commitment for the masterclass starting in January? Oh, great. Actually, that's a great question. The time commitment we ask of our students is to commit minimally 3 hours a week to as much as 5 hours a week. That's to get through the course materials, to go through the workflows, as well as to be on the weekly call. And that's very important to us. Some weeks it's a little bit heavier than others, only because we're in creation mode and we're drilling down, and it might involve a bit more research on your part, but it's a handheld guided experience. Like, we are there with you every step of the way to ensure that you create something successful. Again, like I shared you guys earlier, if you're creating your own core offer, that one thing you want to be asking yourself at all times is, what is the one thing that you would have to do to make it impossible for your clients not to succeed? Well, that's what we did when we created this program, as we were very proud to share the results of those entrepreneurs based on what they were able to create through this program. I mean, results will vary, but we do know that the people that apply themselves and commit to doing that 3 to 5 hours a week are the ones that got the best results. So that's what we encourage people to have. Now, I think, is there any others here? I'm just trying to see. Jen Rulon, which is great, thanks. And Paul, I don't know if you saw her comment, but Jen's married to a lawyer, and I'm glad that she's on this webinar right now. But she was saying that her husband's not on social. However, he is on LinkedIn. So there's a thank you for that case in point. A little bit of research there. Okay, so there was one last question here. Do you know how grateful your family is for your efforts, commitment, and courage to live the life we love? Okay. Okay, that came from Christy. That was privately. Thank you, Christy. I don't need to read that. Okay, how grateful your family is. I do know how grateful, and I'm extremely grateful for my family. And just to be perfectly honest, guys, there's been lots of ups and downs, on this journey, but it's been our journey. We selected it, leaving my stable career of 17 years to pursue the path that my wife and I have engaged in, and this desire to be full-time family and empowering others to also have that opportunity. It's been incredible. It really has. And I could not do anything near what I do today without my full family support and help. And my wife, Chrissy, who's also been on this webinar, populating the chat and being in there helping and answering questions and just making this experience great for everyone. Thank you, Christy, for that. Thank you, Simone, for always bringing the great energy and the great insights. It's been quite the journey that you've been on the last 18 months, and I'm excited to see this continue as you now impart your wisdom and knowledge after the last 18 months to help other entrepreneurs do equally as well.
Oh my goodness.
Better.
Thank you for saying that. And it's the
incredible.
Greatest honor. And the best part of my week is really working with the other coaches. It just fires me right up to be able to share what I've learned over the 18 months with you, Di, and on my own as well. And then see other people find their own success is just incredibly rewarding.
Awesome. That's so good. That's so good. Okay. Well, we've gone a little bit past the original 90 minutes. Actually, well, we had lots of Q&A, so it's okay. Hopefully you all took some great value. Please take 1 or 2 things away from today's masterclass. Apply it to your business. Apply it to your everyday efforts. I know for a fact, if you take it and you apply it, you're going to get some results. It's a journey of progression. You're not striving for perfection, because if you are striving for perfection, I hate to say it, but you're never going to find it. Okay. It's impossible. It's something that I had to learn the hard way. And it used to create a lot of stress in my life because I always wanted things to be perfect before I do anything. And just accepting that it's progression. It's a journey. And as long as you're moving a little bit forward every single day, you're progressing, you're moving forward, you're getting closer to that goal. There's a lot of people out there that you can help, a lot of people that need what you have. Please just own it. Take action, start moving forward, go change some lives. And I'm extremely excited for that. And I'm excited for you guys in your journey. So in closing, if you're liked what you heard and you want to be part of one of our new students in the next program, please go to applymasterclass.com, fill in your application. There's no commitment by filling out the application, but you do get access to us for 30 minutes to at least pick our brains, and we'll talk a bit about you and what you're building, and we'll see if you're a fit. Other than that, thank you all again for joining us tonight, this morning, or this evening or afternoon, depending on what part of the world in. We got a number of continents covered here today. So go be awesome. Go change some lives. And please do connect with Simone and I on social. We look forward to continuing this conversation.